Welcome back to Rolling Into the Big Story, the little interview that could. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can become the biggest thing since journalism was invented. 190 million views, impressions, and counting. The numbers have been released. It looks like it was crushed on Facebook, which, all right, I personally, all opinions for entertainment purposes only, right from the start. I don't know, Mike, if this is a fucking masterpiece or not. Thank you. But I do know Facebook is a load of shit, and I would never partake. Hopefully, you got to watch Baby Metal Starlight there. That was fun. That was the end of all them brutal death metal and crazy heavy shit, and it fit right in. Good for the ladies. We're done with that. I digress. We are back to Ukraine on fire, and as I said in the update, the evil empire and Palpatine have transitioned the Death Star to beam NGO and International Monetary Fund troops into the region to help stock the mob with angry agitators and get out the pitchforks and torches. Now back to our story, basically in progress. I am going to go back to watching it. We're going to find out what the evil one was thinking, and keeping in mind that I did watch that WEF stuff. I did do a little backstory. I will not speak out of turn and think that there's a huge uprising in Ukraine because of the interview. Turns out, just like the burning building the night of the interview, I think, personally, and you know the deal, personally, I kind of lean towards this is all part of the we need the mobs to fully activate. I think the fact that more good people don't join the fight is problematic to the New World Order. Why would that be, Rollen? Well, I think it's because they really, really want to have, let's say, military rule over the entire thing. And they don't got that everywhere. And some places that would be really problematic to try to implement. My backyard, your backyard. I can think of 50 states with backyards that it's not going to work on. And watching this whole thing alone lets me know, yeah, if Georgia, or I mean Georgia, that's where the snipers were supposedly from, where they got their body count, they got their 100 kills. So then international agencies came in. But they had to have 100 kills. A couple protesters dead wasn't enough. So I'm thinking, is that why, 18 to 36? I can't remember how many TikTok murders they filmed the night of the color change revolution in the United States. But it probably just wasn't enough, so then we don't get attention. But murdering Ashley Babbitt, that was world news? Just saying. I get a little confused how this all works out. International criminals, yeah! Totally fake fiat currency fucking up the entire system, yeah! People airing grievances, boo! Let's get them. Because I watched enough. I've watched enough of it. It's like the Charlottesville thing that is finally unraveling. I knew since the beginning, It's like, here's the difference. Patriot Front showed up down there, and the entire left bought that shit hook, line, and sinker. We are so much farther along that it turns out college-level LARPers dressed up and instigating. They got their pound of flesh, and technically they just used the rest as a bullshit story to wait, to get the pitchfork and torches out. Weird. I'll be back with more soon. Ah, yes. I went back a ways. And yes, this is a fully smoking adventure because I don't think I'm right. You get all excited on the other end of this thing, you can't be paying attention. I'm just taking what I was given to look at from within the safety of my own bubble, and I'm looking at it, how can I escape from my bubble outside the box, apply a little critical thinking to it, but still take enough face value from it to go, wow, that ties back to a lot of shit. I moved the ducks. Oh, they're both gone. Well, that's all right. Maybe we'll align with the wolves and not the ducks today. It seems like a lot of it applies to stuff that my crazy brothers in tinfoil hats and arms agree with. So I went back, did a little backtracking to make sure I knew where I was in the first documentary here. And oh, yeah, no, it's that one player. They have techniques, the NGOs, you know, so important. Well, they were injecting money into the situation. I can't imagine another photo op pandemic based rally that raised money like hand over fist. Maybe I do remember. So interjecting money into the thing, a lifeline, if you will, keeping it alive. Now we understand what the Death Star coming around Alderaan was actually beaming down to the rebellion. Oh no, it was beaming down extra stormtroopers and bounty hunters and dark Sith lords. Man, that sucks. Interestingly enough, it turns out that those evil Sith energy beams come in the form of incentives and take a minute because we're doping up the back of the bus, Ronan Wolf style. Grants, subsidies, incentives as they're applying regulations and restraints in other places. Wow, what a bunch of semantic claptrap. There it is. They hide it in a hallmark moment, and it makes us feel like we're doing something good. Hey, I was talking to a couple of people in the real world. If at the same time we were agreeing to send incentives, we knew they were memorializing wickedness of the past to a point of golden statues, would we still send the subsidies, incentives, and grants? I think one of the key takeaways is if we all were asked to actually think about, let's say, many more aspects of it all, we might not agree to all the shit we agree to anymore. And how many people using a single righteous no shuts down a system? Now, I don't know the answer to that, right? I don't know the answer. But I've been saying and running my mouth long enough that now it seems like a good time to ask that question. Is how powerful will our righteous no be? As I see it coming, you see it seeping in. I don't even have to go to the excitable side of influence now, right? The angry influencers. I can. But I can finally start watching, once again, like I said, I came up watching the Young Turks until I just couldn't agree with them no more. And watching them have to slip back as the Overton window slides back and they're gonna, not gonna be able to see no more if they don't go with it. I find that all interesting. Incredibly, incredibly interesting and well worth the time. Well worth thinking about that instead of that what's her name, who his name is. I don't even know what teams are playing. That's what's cool. Well, I think isn't like Kansas City one of them because she's banging whatever the. I don't know. I don't actually look at the tabloids when I'm at the grocery store either. But I don't look at guns and ammo. I look at the rack and I realize that they have the pablum divided right down the middle. Here's all the articles for I support everything the one side says, and there's the magazine rack for the other side. I'm like, the bubble is right there at the grocery checkout, and I'm like, oh, plus crossword puzzles for the meth heads. Hey, it's like the first time I went into an inner city convenience store and they got the little, I learned, now this is a long time ago, I'm going way in the past, but I learned why there was always a large supply of Brillo and the little rose flowers, okay? And then discovered that, oh my God, I can go get what I need plus €1. Yeah, if I go right around back, I can fill the pipe. Man. Can't be the only one who understood that. So then what part of the system just says that's cool? Says, I will look the other way. Now, that could be part of that, that could be that fringe of libertarianism I don't agree with. All things are permissible. I'm not sure that's true. Because it appears, to get back to it, they use grants, subsidies, and initiatives to either support bad ideas or help others look in the opposite direction. So from the war in Ukraine to my local convenience store, it appears the system's in place to let bad decisions continue going forward at full speed. Weird. Okay, and then to finish, within the first 15 minutes, our Palpatine story arc, the evil empire rises. It appears that the Dutch, us, and the Emperor, yeah, it appears to be now. I think this is one of those weird, ironically unfortunate, quantifiable tracking events. Because it turns out, I know this is going to suck. Instead of being angry all the time, you get yourself a nice little accounting friend or someone who understands math, and you follow the money. They love money. They love money so much, and all that matters. So they fucking paid for these revolutions in cash, baby. You know, looks like $500,000 to like one fucking TV station. Hey, I wonder what side that TV station was pushing. Because I don't know if this is true, but I heard where we're going to do in all the farmers in a region, I think they're going to do in all the straight males too. I think this channel and many other channels have talked about that. I think, hey, that's hetero-cis normative stuff they're so hyped about. Ooh, those labels are all on purpose. Because it turns out it's a perversion platoon that they're gonna send at the world. They're gonna rule through their crotches. I had no idea. I didn't know how many sex organs I could fucking put in my face was gonna make me a better or worse human being. I mean, wow. It's so depressing, I might as well just make fun of it. Oh, fuck it. It sucks because they demonetize it where I'm really trying to... You're not allowed to say anything if you have to use their shit, but their shit's more important because I would say it's checkable. We can still present the other side's argument, I am more than willing to hear why the emperor here is correct.
He received generous donations from the Dutch and U.S. embassies, as well as from the Renaissance Foundation, an NGO founded by George Soros.
I set up a foundation in Ukraine before Ukraine became independent of Russia.
Huh. Now, it's probably because they had to save them. Not the half that wanted to side with Russia, but the other half that really liked Nazi butt sex. They needed to be free. Okay, I'm not trying to be an ass because there's all kinds of really good people caught up in all this shit. I'm sorry. This is that whole hate side. It's so easy to go with the fucking over-the-top jokes. But we did spend the first couple hours learning that the CIA took Ukrainian Nazi collaborators. I mean, we're looking at, a pretty high body count in some of the atrocities, and unscathed to the U.S. to die in the suburbs at a ripe old age and live out a perfect life, live out a good life in hiding. You just change your name to Ted or Jerry, and you're good. Hi, I'm in the local bowling league. Now, the whole time, I get screamed at my whole life that this is just the worst of humanity and the atrocities to end all atrocities. Okay, I'm cool with that debate going on. It just seemed like a bad ideology. Remember, the big story is the Putin Tucker interview. Why did he have to bring up the Nazi stuff? Well, because instead of the meme of Canada being all that matters, it appears there's a literal timeline of Nazi sympathizers. And, I guess secretly the Nazis are still winning some portions of the war. I didn't know. I don't follow that shit. Now that I am, I'm thinking, damn. I was right about thinking all authoritarian believers, worshipers, and practitioners are just human garbage. Too many people want to control too many people. That's a fucking depressing state to be in.
And it played an important part in events now.
I like criticism, but it must be my way.
Did you?
Hey, isn't that how that goes? Now, I'm pretty sure, funny enough, I'm going after it appears the punk band Stranglers Cult of Personality. And, wow, they're like way older than me. I'm going to feel bad about it. But it turns out I don't care. I don't. I accept how I got to where I'm at, and I'll be damned if, the idea, because, one comment represents many, many people. It's not like each comment, unfortunately, is so unique that we're all, right? Hallmark wouldn't work if we couldn't simplify and quantify our common ideas. Just saying. All those things, it just wouldn't work if we didn't all get on the same page quite often. So I'm going to go hard on those folks. Because, obviously, the pedestals have to be brought down. The amount of people who hate organized religion but partake in their own self-created organized religions is so much that the hypocrisy can no longer be ignored. I'd say music reactions have introduced me to the simple truth of cult activity, group mind think, mob mentality, and then all of this leads to this big story. Damn it. The big story, because it appears to me, and I'm certainly able to be wrong, but it appears to me that this is all about hearts and minds. As always, hearts and minds bullshit. There's so complicated a story on both sides that maybe anybody in the first 3 rows of the torch and pitchfork parade should literally never be listened to. And then if what I saw in the public square is true and the research is even any bit close, when your little LARPing friend, okay, not us, not you, I'm assuming none of these folks are going to hear my words, but if you're a junior G man getting ready to go become a Tony terrorist, let me tell you this. When your boys or girls and Squirrelkin spirits are telling you get your ass up to the front line, they are probably setting you up Hunger Games style to the slaughter. So your body count, oh God. And if that's what you want, there's another comment coming by soon. Kool-Aid jumpsuits and, shitty recruiting videos, I guess. But you know what I mean? There's another comment coming around for you. You don't got to throw yourself at that. You can go in silence and end it all. You don't got to go on the street and inspire the hearts and minds of others. Because, see, they're both the same activity. Sacrificing yourself for probably a stupid idea, except one is easily mocked by all, and the other one sways hearts and minds and creates wars. All the stupid people who want to die, you go join yourself a Hail Bob cult. Go get some. We will mock you till the end in your little jumpsuits. But when you go LARP as revolutionaries, good people die who just wanted to go to work or wanted to see their kids tomorrow. Fuck you fuck you if that's an idea you can stand for. Shameful. And of course, U.S. representatives, which I believe just like the big speech or interview, timelines can be checked. Whether it's propaganda or not, I actually respect not telling dramatic tales or tales out of school, not giving the details. Did the meetings happen? Is there a timeline that shows and proves it? And then, how come we don't actually ask both sides hard questions at the same time or just bring up these points to the other side? Instead of, meow, 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 don't listen, don't. That shit ain't getting us nowhere. But, it appears, as always, right, the alphabet agencies swoop right in to money, influence, advisors. Hey, how many citizens of the world have died on the advice of advisors? And then how many of those advisors live on to advise on other scenarios in other places? That seems like a damn good question. Oh yeah, well they promised them they promised them gender study courses and pandemic riots. Yeah, no, I've been played. I've been played because they just hint at it. This is the tinfoil hat truth. They tell us all this shit bit by bit in the movies and in the books because it's the boiling frog. Now, once again, as always, I have no desire to snap and accuse my neighbors. But every time I drive by the local house with the local county Democrat sign in the yard, I start thinking that there's an advisor who's creating this shit workforce around me because they're lying to people and saying the number of abortions you have is a lot more important than the work ethic your parents could ever teach you. Because they're bad bigots. You're a free sexual creature to fucking kill all you want. And then anybody who wonders why I keep running across this shit in my real life, that's why. I think the rich cocksuckers who live in St. Croix Valley, which we know there's a few, I mean a few, their influence on the local community has affected all the way into the kids in the farms. And now there's two distinct types of kids. Those that still listen and probably have to bust their ass. They all end up at the fucking factory, so I'm sure the machine loves this. But then every other customer service position is filled by a person who is fucking sputtering nonsense, can barely take their head out of their ass, and function like a human being. Hey, every minute they waste at a place that's labeled convenient and quick, they're stealing from me then. Because they've lied to me. And the kid who only cares about their phone and what's being indoctrinated into them at all times cannot function outside of that silly putty mentality. And I see the same things. From the social networking to this is the thing. It's because they sold the fucking Arab Spring as a good thing. And I was not thinking manufacturing consent at that point. I wasn't thinking the at least the decent trip I took down the hard left for a while. I let them convince me again, because the young people and the photo ops, it looked like everyday folks. It looked like, oh, but now in hindsight, what we know that it was Facebook who silences whatever side of the story they don't agree with, but amplifies everything they do agree with, which is definitely color change revolutions across the planet. So now I get it. So it appears to be good as they hearts and minds me back home, but over there, it's a completely different thing. They tell the government, hey, they're going good. But then they go out to the protesters and say, oh, government bad, defund the military. And I hardly know nothing. I know that's for sure. I do. I don't think I got a clue. But I think it's all part of the big same shit show. Oh, wow. Okay, now I understand a whole lot more. I would take and look at his role in it all. So there I get a whole lot more. I mean, it's probably all tinfoil hat conspiracy shit, but I think I get a whole lot. Yeah, I think I understand how much I've been played. All right, I guess we can wrap up the 100% the Palpatine story arc, and I can go on. Sure, it's 100% exactly the same in regards to I couldn't go to church or I couldn't do a lot of things, and I had to lose my job. The same people, the photo op group didn't lose their jobs, was okay to do everything they did. In fact, their righteous anger wasn't going to make them sick. And then only one side of the story was listened to ever. So the TikTok murders go unchecked, out of the public eye. But whatever they, like the Charlottesville story, which now is just a hoax, we know it's a hoax. Russia influence and Charlottesville are the two biggest hoaxes that were portrayed on the general public. 100% know this is true now. Can be mad at me, but that I don't believe that's an opinion. I believe if you look into it and apply critical thought, it's just like Rappaport found out. because he never watched it all. And he's not getting a free pass. I'm with the people that threw the snowballs at him. But he gets 100% props and positive marks in the win category for applying critical thinking to a scenario and then owning the parts that he was wrong about. Like, there is a ton of good songs on Kill 'Em All, Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets. I love that shit. I hate Lars with all my... I just think he sucks. But, right? Both things could be true. For my personal opinion on the Metallica side, wrapping this all up, they went in, they lied to the actual acting administration, then sided with the protesters only. In a country that's so divided enough that not everybody sided with the protesters. So, the democracy illusion tied into the NGO influencer oversight committee sanctions, grants, the entire web of shit. It doesn't matter where you look. The evidence of it all is interlaced the whole time, and then the record of payments all exist. There's fucking nothing to say. I mean, I could definitely... None of that is, because I think both sides probably do that shit. The one obvious outcome of all this is honestly the system of individuals who believe they have right to rule. They can't. We're too far past it. Every activist, school board leader should be taken away. And y'all, the communities should start with their own, whatever that local community is. You better figure out what moms and dads and parents are actually representative of you, and they go in. The other ones get kicked out to start and then probably tried in the end. But it appears that the ruler leadership class has not ever forgot about how good it feels to be buried under pyramids. To have Taj Mahals built in your honors. And all of that shit in between. But the problem is the world isn't dominated by the leadership class. It will be time for humanity to stand completely all the way the fuck up. And from the excitement of just wanting to be at the edge of it all to watch, to realizing that front row seat is a literal ticket to the ball. Hey, fuck, it ain't right. Because this doesn't change much, but it certainly lets me know that these techniques are just paid for. Well, most of my tinfoil hat conspiracies are coming true. In my timeline, when I'm maybe not at the prime, but I'm as well equipped as I've ever been in my life to deal with the things that lay ahead of me. That's a pretty exciting thought. Till part 4. Later.